Okay guys, so I am going to show you how to do PPC in this video. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do what's called automatic PPC. It's very easy to do, very affordable, and can really boost your Amazon sales. So I know I always say this, I'm going to try to make this short, so let's just dive into it. Let's just get started. I don't need to tell you my life story. You already know who I am. So we log into Seller Central, and then we want to go over to advertising. And once we are there, we then want to select from the drop-down Campaign Manager. That's it. Now, this is what your Campaign Manager will look like after you get some data going. This is what mine looks like. What I will tell you is you might have to click through like a tour and stuff like that. And if you do that, you know, it's kind of annoying. But yours will look a bit different, especially if you've never done PPC before. But this is what mine looks like, so I've been pretty happy with PPC. I do spend a couple $1,000s or so a month on PPC, but you know, I'm doing a little bit of volume here, and I have some private label products. That's really where I spend most of my money with PPC. If you're just going to do automatic targeting, it's really affordable, real easy. You can see this is not going to be a long video, so you can tell this is pretty easy to do. So what we want to do after we're in our campaign manager, we want to click on Create Campaign, and now the fun begins. Okay, so here is our campaign creation menu. This might look a little bit intimidating at first, but I promise it really isn't. And if you mess up anything or you're unhappy with anything, I'll show you how to fix it later. You just go in and change it. You're going to make some decisions right now that if you've never done PPC before, you might make wrong. You're not going to break anything. You're not going to deactivate your account or anything. You might spend a little bit more money than you're expecting, or maybe not get the most out of PPC. But this isn't going to be a scenario where you like get suspended for messing something up. Okay, so let's campaign name this test now. 813 now. What I will say is usually when I make my campaign names, you can do it any way you want. A lot of times I have multiple campaigns running at any one time, and I like to put the category or the campaigns together by the category. So let's say I have, well, I'll tell you exactly what I have. I have a clothing campaign. I have a toys campaign. I have a campaign for grocery items and health and personal care items. Just kind of keep it like that. So I keep it simple. You also could do campaigns by suppliers, whatever you want to do. There's no right or wrong way to do it. The easiest way to do it would be to just make one catch-all campaign and throw everything in. That'll work just fine. The advantage to breaking it down by category is that, let's say I shift my business, which is something I've actually done. I have shifted my business out of a lot of my usual retail items almost entirely into grocery right now. So if I had a catch-all campaign that was, let's say, $20 a day, that's not enough for how much grocery I'm selling. So if I, you know, realize, oh, my toys campaign I'm not really spending any money on, but my grocery campaign I'm running out of money real early, and I'll show you how to see that in a moment, okay? I can go in and tweak that, and I recently had to do that. I actually am running PPC about $100 a day on my items, so not a lot. I mean, that is a lot. It's $3,000 a month, but it's not a lot when you look at the volume. Now, you're not going to do anything like that, so I'm assuming you've never done this before, so let's get started. So, it's August 13th. We're going to start this today, our daily budget. Now, this is what trips up a lot of people. Just remember that you want to multiply your daily budget by 30 to think of how much is this going to cost you a month. So if you think, okay, I have $100 a month in advertising, we can do a $3.33 daily budget. No one's going to judge you. I mean, I might judge you, but don't tell me what your budget has been. Okay, now in all seriousness, $5 is fine. I know right here it says most campaigns with a $30 budget, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, I don't care. So don't worry about this, it's $30, it's $1,000 a month. Why don't we just start, you know, if this is your first time doing PPC, why don't we ease into it? Let's do $5, okay? That's $150 a month. we could also, if you're really concerned about budget, let's do a slightly higher budget, and let's do an end date of, you know, January or September 1st. That could work. Okay, so let's go here. September 1st. So now I got 14 days. I'm doing a daily budget of $5. That way I don't get burnt, okay? Because that's the last thing you want to do. You want to make sure your daily budget isn't too high. But see, we're not going to be like focusing on getting every bid. This will make more sense in a minute. Now, we want to do automatic targeting. Manually targeting is something that is pretty complicated. I do it for some of my items, but what I like to do with the manual targeting is, like, you know, that's where there's like PPC experts that make a lot of money. They're going in, they're finding negative keywords, they're excluding keywords, that kind of stuff. That's its own thing, and although I do it, that's not the scope of this video. This is a beginner's guide to PPC, so we're just going to stick with automatic targeting. Now, as far as the bids, we want dynamic bids, okay? So we're going to set our bid down below in a minute, okay? And once we do that, we want to be anywhere from, so we're going to actually set our dynamic bid at 5 cents. That's where I want to set this, okay? So that means that we would be anywhere between 0 or 1 cent and 5 cents, okay, which is fine. If we did fixed bid, it would always be 5 cents, and the dynamic bids, I'm actually not entirely sure how this all works, but I always use dynamic bids, okay? There's definitely people out there that are way better with PPC than I am. Honestly, I hire Brandon Trainer to do my PPC for me. Don't tell anyone. It's a secret. It's between you and me. Nobody watches these videos anyway. Like, comment, subscribe if you actually watch this. So, let's now create our ad group. Now, typically, I only do one ad group per campaign. I could do more, okay, and you can do as many as you want. I'm just telling you how I do it. The reason I do that is I do each category as its own campaign. So, in the ad group, I just have that be whatever I'm setting up for. So, let's just set this up. Let's do test bras 813. Okay, so I'm just going to put all my bras into this campaign. Okay, bras haven't been doing too well for me lately. So, let's do that. We're going to just call it ad group. We can literally leave it blank. None of this really matters. Okay, now, let's look at our products. Now, here's where we're going to select the products that we're going to add to our campaign. Now, we could do a list here. Okay, this is actually a pretty useful feature here, and let me show you how we can use this. Okay, so I didn't really want to do any advanced features here, but this is such an easy feature to do that it is very worth knowing how to do this. What we can actually do from this menu, okay, so I'm in Inventory Lab right now. I should have said that. I'm in my Inventory, FBA Inventory tab, okay? Now, what we want to do is we can actually export this, okay? So click on Export, and then we can download this whole thing. I'm not going to go through this because it's a little outside of what my intentions are for this video, but what we could do is download this, and we'll actually put everything into categories. Then we can come back to our advertising page and load all of our ASINs in from there, which really saves a buttload of time, like a crazy amount of time. Now, we could do that by brand, so let's say we want to do bras. Almost all the clothing that I sell is bras. In fact, I'm saying bras, we'll just say my clothing. So it's super nice to go into Inventory Lab, grab all my ASINs out of the clothing category, paste them into there. It's done for me. Boom, guys. I don't know why people don't talk about this. It saves so much time. Okay? Easy to do. But we're just going to search. So we'll just search bra. That works. And add. Okay, go through here. Let me show you guys how this works if you paste in the stuff like how easy this is. So if I just put in my enter line, add, okay, and it goes down to the bottom there. Oh, wasn't added. Oh, okay. So it only wants to add stuff that way that's in stock. Okay, so let's do it that way. Enter list, boom. Yeah, I probably have to have more than one in there, and I don't feel like really going into it. So that's fine. Now, one of the things that people ask all the time is they say, oh, do I have to have the item in stock to do PPC on it? And the answer is yes and no. So yes, you have to have it in stock to spend money on PPC, but as soon as you're out of stock, you stop spending money on PPC. So if you see here, I just added all of these bras, I'm out of stock. Well, guess what? I'm never going to spend any money on PPC. Okay, the only one here that I'm in stock on, where am I at here on this? That's added. Added. Okay, all those I'm out of stock. I only have stock here on one of these. That's the only one I would actually do any PPC for, okay? So don't worry if you add stuff to your campaign that is not actually in stock. It won't cause a problem. You won't spend more money. It's not a problem. So we got our bras. Awesome. Let's do our default bid. Now, part of my strategy here is we want to have a low daily budget, okay, $5. This is geared towards beginners. And we want a default bid. Now, one thing I will tell you is that a lot of people set their default bid at 5 cents, okay? Now, board games, they've taught me many things. But one of the things is that you should always go slightly above where everybody else is going to be. So a lot of people are going to set this at 5. I have a lot of success at 6. Okay, so if you're thinking, I want to set my budget for 5 cents, make it 6. 10 cents, make it 11. So on and so forth. Just bid 1 penny more than the next denomination, the next rounded number down. Ignore the suggested bid. We don't need to worry about that. Again, this is just meant to get advertising on everything for you. And then we're going to leave negative keyword targeting and negative product targeting alone. These are not things we need to worry about right now. Click launch. Boom goes the dynamite, guys. That's it. 6 products. Got my default bid in there. Everything. That is how we do it. Now, then we go back to the campaign manager. Okay. Now, you can see here that we have the campaign. Yours is going to look a little bit different. If you've never set up a campaign, you'll now see a campaign. What I will tell you right now is that it can take up to 72 hours for you to see any results from this. So you won't see any spend, you won't see any sales for at least, or at most, about 72 hours. Sometimes it can be as little as 24 hours. Sometimes it's going to be up to 3 days. And just be patient with it. This is not a game of, winning by the hour. This is a game of winning over a long period of time, weeks and months, to really see the benefit of what we just did. So guys, that's how we set up a PPC campaign. We can go right back in, click create campaign, create as many as we want, do anything we want with this, because, I do like to break mine down into categories, and that's, again, entirely up to you and how you want to do it. If you just want to do a catch-all and throw all of them into one, great, that's awesome. So, hey guys, I just wanted to do a quick little addendum to this video before I wrap it up, and it's how to troubleshoot your PPC campaign, because there's a couple problems that you can run into. So number one, if you are constantly hitting your daily budget, that may mean that your daily budget is either too low or your bid is too high. So if you set your bid when we were in the campaign manager at say 10 cents, maybe it would be better to set it to 5 cents. Just experiment. You're not going to break anything. So if you, let's say, had a $5 daily budget with a 10-cent bid, maybe either go to a $10 daily budget with a 10-cent bid or a $5 daily budget with a 5-cent bid. Tweak it, see what works best for you. I can't tell you what to do. Now, if you are constantly not hitting your daily budget, that could mean that your bid is too low and your daily budget is too high. Now, you can't really have a budget that's too high if you're willing to pay it. So just increase your daily bid a little bit and make sure that your stuff is still listed. Sometimes I've forgotten to go in and add stuff to PPC, and I notice like, oh, I'm not spending anything on PPC. Wonder what's going on. Well, Chris, it's because you don't have anything in PPC for it to be spent on. So just a couple quick troubleshooting things. This is super easy, so the troubleshooting section of this video was just that. That's really it with doing automatic PPC. It's really just that easy. People should be doing this for all of their products. I do it for all of my products. I do some manual PPC. This, what we just set up here, would be called an automatic campaign, and it works really well. My average cost of goods or average cost of sale is actually better than what a lot of the PPC gurus claim to be hitting. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, guys, I hope that this was helpful. I hope you give PPC a try, because it is definitely very worth it. Anyway, guys, talk to you later. Bye.